Music matters. Lucky Lucci.
Hey, you know what's funny? I think I'm actually going to do the interview right this time.
Do it.
Like last time when I was on the Underground show, I was so locked in and so just ready to get to it, I forgot to put headphones on.
Yeah.
And no one corrected me, so I just went through with the and I saw all the other interviewers. I'm like, how come I'm the only one not wearing the headphones? Because I'm a fucking retard. That's why.
It's absolutely mandatory, bro, because you can't hear, like, there's no way to monitor yourself without it.
They were talking about a certain song that was playing, and I didn't have the headphones in, but we were talking about it at the same time, and it was so coincidental. Like, I was just on the beat, on the rhythm of time. We were talking about living and dying. All of a sudden, I was talking about living and dying.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't even got headphones on. How do you know what the fuck we're listening to?
Because the thing is, like, without the headphones, bro, you can't, like... Okay, this is more so a thing if I'm interviewing multiple people, right? If I'm sitting there and I have, like, a group of, like, 5 people there, if I'm doing, like, a band or a group or whatever, there's 4 of them and none of them have headphones, they are going to talk over each other the entire time because they're not paying attention to, like, how they sound in real life. Because in the headphones, you hear, like, the input. So you hear everybody and you hear everyone you're talking over. But, like, if in real life, I feel like you're not as aware of that, you know?
Yeah. Even when I record, like, I always record with only one headphone in.
Because, like, only one of the ears?
Like, I like hearing myself and also hearing the playback.
I used to do that too, yeah.
If I'm 2 headphones in, it's like I don't sound how I usually sound.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in a performance setting, it's like my voice is so powerful. I got to know if I'm doing too much or if I'm too soft. So I've always had the habit every time I record, I always boop. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just been habit, and only like sometimes when I sing, when I really really want to hear like the pitch of my voice, I'll lock in or ad libs.
That makes sense.
Because
yeah.
ad libs aren't like main vocals, so I'm just like, yeah.
Bro, I love whenever I've been in the studio with people, I love watching fools record ad libs because it's so funny, bro. It's just somebody in the booth, they're like, boom.
I'm like, do. or my main one is, it's Lucci.
It's Lucci.
And people are just like, the fuck? Like, that's part of my whole persona is animated ad libs.
You're an animated guy, dude. Like I mean, I know this is the first time we've met in person, but like you're the kind of person like your energy like transmits everybody else in the room. That's a beautiful thing.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm jealous of people like that because I feel like when I walk in a room, I'm not.
Well, you got that in you. It's just I see it and I just gotta take it out of you.
Yeah,
I can already see it. You're already that person.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You feel me?
But no, you definitely like that.
All you gotta do is just read the room.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I guess I'm really good at giving people my all at all times.
Yeah, see,
like,
I'm not.
This is the experience, or maybe you've never seen me before, or maybe you will never see me again. But there's something you're gonna remember from this conversation.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's honestly like a lot of like what we try to do here. You know what I mean? It's like teach people and like kind of like transmit the idea that conversation's important. Whether it's about music, whether it's about some other passion, whether it's about like anything in the world. Conversation's important, man. You can't just stay locked in a room and not talk to anybody. I have become a victim of that at points in my life, and I'm happy I've broken out of it because you need to talk to people about yourself, about the way you are. I know even just speaking on like things like mental health or like just your mentality and like the way you feel. Like, if you don't get that shit out, be it a conversation with a friend, a family member, whoever, somebody at work, anybody, it'll eat you alive.
For real. Depression is a real thing. Sometimes, if you want to dig yourself out of a black hole, you gotta dig someone else out of a black hole. You know? You might not see it for yourself, but your purpose is when you see other people smile. Sometimes your own jokes may not make you smile because you're you. Yeah. But other times my inner voice tells me, you know what? I could be doing shitty, but what if that other person's doing shittier? Maybe I should say something just to spark the room. Or maybe I shouldn't just let that person walk by. Either way, I'm either wasting a moment or using a moment. Oh, 100%.
I think about that, dude. I try so hard to just like walk in a room and think like about the other people in it, but it's like I said, like I feel like I don't know, maybe it just comes with as you age. Like you mentioned to me earlier, you're 22, I'm 20. Did you feel like when you were younger you were able to walk in a room and kind of just light up the room with your energy, or was that something that kind of came to you?
Well, this is actually really plays into a conversation I had. Somebody walked up to me. We're playing basketball on the basketball court because also a hooper. I love to meet people on the court, tell them about my music. That's just another passion. Mm-hmm. And this dude walked up to me. He's like, bro, how do you move as an artist? Like, I'm an upcoming artist in San Francisco. Like, how do you do it? How do you just walk up to people, hand them your flyer, give them a handshake, and you just don't know them? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I don't even think twice about it. Like, what haters are you talking about? He's like, no, like the people that gangbang, or aren't you afraid that someone's going to be talking about you on the internet if you say something, this and this and the third. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to lie. Like, those thoughts don't come in my head anymore. Like, in the beginning, I was so worried about what people thought of me. And now it's more like, it's all about what I think of me.
Dude, there's so much power in that. That's like a superpower. Learning that, like, you need to stop caring what other people think of you. But at the same time, I feel like anybody who says that I don't care what anybody thinks about me is lying. I think everybody cares what someone thinks about them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I have a good relationship with my parents, but if let's say I didn't, let's say they weren't in my life, let's say they were terrible to me, right? I would still care what they thought about me. Yeah. There's people in this life, I think you just automatically care. You have to do that. You just can't, like, unengineer the idea that, like, their opinion of you matters. But you have to walk into a room and think, like, I am on the same level as everybody here, and everybody here is on the same level as me. We're even. It's an even plane. And if they think poorly of me, that's on them. That's not my problem. There's so much power in learning to, like, really stop caring about what the average person thinks about you, because guess what? What the average person thinks about you does not fucking matter.
Honestly, when I was a kid, my heart would beat so quick before I would talk to a girl. Like, I would almost, like, piss my pants because I was so anxious and afraid of the results. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But sometimes I think you just gotta play life like a mad scientist, and you just gotta keep on pulling in concoctions, and all of a sudden there is surprises. Do you believe in miracles? You feel me? Yeah. I remember the girl that told me, oh, nah, Lucci, you don't got a six-pack. Dude over there, he got a six-pack. I want him instead of you. Right? And you would think, like, you stupid, But then again,
She's objectifying you.
I don't dish out hate anymore either. Like, sometimes everyone makes mistakes. You gotta tell yourself it's okay to make mistakes.
It's not only is it okay, it's needed.
Don't be mad if you feel like trash. Don't focus on the failure, but on the bounce back. You got to be okay with making the mistakes. You will get 9 no's, but that one yes will change your life and will change the way that same girl that was over here fucking pushing me off in middle school was on me in high school. I wonder why. I mean, shit, bro. The haters, what they say, haters are my motivators. Yeah. But have you ever told someone that hated you that you love them regardless and you hope that they make it to their happy place?
I haven't, honestly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to say something that you wouldn't want to say something like that to someone that hates you, because deep down you want that person to feel how you feel.
Of course. Anybody who says they don't want that's lying. I think there's a little bit of, like, resentment built up in everybody, but it's about, like you said, getting over that and even in wishing good things, even the people who do you wrong. You know what I mean?
Man, you know what someone said? Do you believe in angels?
I don't know. I'm not that religious, but I don't disbelieve in them. You know what I mean? I just don't really know.
Man, honestly, bro, I feel like I met an angel.
I believe in angels as I think I more so believe in angels in terms of people on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who I think are just here to, like, make other people happy.
This mortal man, who I believe to be an angel, walked up to me while I was, taking down notes, doing homework in Taco Bell. I was in high school. I was just doing some homework, waiting for my girlfriend to get off, just a regular day. And this dude walks up to me. He says, "Hey, kid, you look like you got a chip on your shoulder. What aren't you letting go of?" And I'm looking up at him like, and at first I'm like, who the fuck, like, who are you talking to? And then he sits down and he tells me his life story. And he tells me how he confronted the man that murdered his family when he was young. And I asked him what happened next. He says, "I forgave myself." And I didn't know what that meant. You got to be able to forgive yourself to forgive someone. You can't forget, but you got to live life with forgiveness. And that was the most powerful thing I've ever heard in my life. All of a sudden, I started forgiving people I thought I hated. Because I don't got hate in my heart no more. Only love.
My God, that is so powerful, dude. And it's, I think people like that are what keeps this earth good. They're what keeps hope in this earth. You know what I mean? I would love and like I aspire to be somebody who, like, if I saw somebody murder my family, I could look them in the eyes and say, "I forgive you." Like that's an unbelievable amount of compassion. And I think people forget that it's important to be compassionate to people who do you wrong, because it just furthers the agenda of compassion. You know what I mean? It just pushes the idea of good things on people. And let's say somebody does something really messed up to you, right? If you look them in the eyes and, like you said, say "I love you," maybe they won't do that to the next person. Maybe they'll have a change of heart. I think it's funny that you bring up like the angel thing and like just people like coming up to you at the random. I have a kind of similar story. When I was in the 8th grade going into, all through like my childhood, I was a hooper too. Like I played basketball. It was all I cared about. 24/7, bro. It was my life. And my freshman year of high school, I played for like the high school travel team on like during the summer. So before I was actually a freshman. And then like going into the year for the actual team, I ended up getting cut from the team. I didn't make the team, and I was crushed because it was my life up to that point. It was like my identity. It was everything I loved. And I then made it that like my mission that year to just make the team next year. And it was I think I learned what it meant to really work hard. I started waking up at 4 a.m. before school. I'd bike to the gym. It'd be pouring rain sometimes. I lived like pretty close to the gym, like a mile away. So like I'd bike to the gym at 4 a.m. and then I'd come back, shower, bike to school. After school, I'd go straight back to the gym, and I was putting up hundreds of shots a day. I got so much better, like an unbelievable amount better. I mean, this is outside of the point. I ended up getting cut from the team anyway, like that year, which taught me a lot. But I never have worked harder for anything in my life. But the moral of the story, I kind of got off track, is the one point during this time where I was going to the gym at 4 a.m, there were like very, very rarely I would see somebody in the court. 9 times out of 10 it would just be me, because it's like what, 5:30 a.m. when I'm there. Most people aren't playing goddamn basketball at 5:30 in the morning, so it's like usually I was there by myself. But there were like a couple people that I would see come back. Like there were some people who were like, maybe they worked out before work or whatever, and they wanted to get some cardio in before they lifted or whatever it may be. But there was one guy that I saw all the time, and I never talked to him because usually I'd seen him playing basketball a couple times, but he was usually like working out. But this one day I go in and he was shooting. He's by himself. It was me. I remember this so vividly. It was me on one side of the court, and then there was him on the other side of the court with another guy. Like he wasn't with the guy, but they were just shooting on the same hoop. There were 3 of us in the whole basketball court this morning, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, like I know it's early, but would you be down to like run a game of 21 right now?" And like whenever anybody was like, you want to play at the gym, I'm always like, yeah, I bet I'm down. So he grabbed the other guy and we started playing 21, and it was fun. We played. I just remember it being really fun. Like we were just laughing the whole time. He was just a really good guy, and we played a couple games or whatever, and then it became like 7 or 8 o'clock whenever I had to leave for school. And I like went over to the little bench and was taking my shoes off, putting my slides on and everything, my sweatshirt, and he was talking to me. And he's like, "Yeah, man. So like, actually, as he was doing this, he opened his bag, and I remember seeing like scrubs, like nurse scrubs, So we started talking. I was like, oh, you a doctor? And he's like, yeah, I'm a nurse. Like I work here or whatever. And then he was like, why? He was like, let me ask you something. Like he just stopped me while I was talking. And he's like, why the hell are you here at 5:30 in the morning? And then I was all like, I think what I said, I was like, because I got cut from my high school basketball team and I want to prove people wrong. And it was, then he looks at me and he just like starts crying. Like he just like his eyes got all teary and he just like got really emotional. And I was just kind of like, whoa, you all good, man? Like what happened? And then he was all like, when I applied for nursing school or medicine school, he took the MCAT. He was like, I failed it 4 times. He was like, everybody in my life told me that I should stop trying to become a doctor. Everybody in my life told me that I'm wasting my time, that I should get another job. And he said, the only reason I wanted to be a doctor was because I wanted to help people. And he said, but I never stopped. And he said, now I've been a doctor for a year, and I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And he looked at me and he said, I want you to promise me you'll never give up on your dreams. And that was like, I think that was it was very similar to, it seems like a similar occurrence.
Nah, that's God right there.
Yeah,
boy.
Dude.
That's beautiful, man.
And that's the kind of stuff that like makes me believe that I really think there are like angels on this earth. You know what I mean?
Man, when you said that, did you feel
it
that
changed
feeling?
My life. Yeah. It that was, you know what it felt like? It was like that whole period of my life where like I was going, cause keep in mind, I was 16. So it was such like a formative, I'm 20 right now, but it was such like a formative time in my life. So it was like, since I spent it just playing so much basketball, I felt like that was like a chapter of my life, and that moment where I met that guy was like the climax of the chapter of the book. You know, so it's like now I think about that all the time. And it's like I think I'm a changed person because of like the fact that I spent like those months like going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning. I learned so much about myself. And that was like the height of it, you know what I mean?
Oh shit. Respect, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a listener too. You know,
yeah.
To be able to listen to somebody. But you know what? From what I believe in, you know, you were chosen, bro. Chosen. You feel me? What's supposed to happen was written for you.
Thank you, bro. And I feel the same way about you. I think that's everybody. You know? And I think you have to have some faith in something. Your gut, life, God, whatever it may be. You have to have some faith that life is going to work out how it's supposed to. You know, like your story is waiting to be told.
As long as you keep on working hard and you're willing to die for it, you know, anything you put your mind to, bro, anything. Because I feel like with my beliefs, you know, everyone shares different beliefs, but it's all about how much effort you put in and how you learn from things. And redemption is real. Like you could straight fuck up and fuck up and fuck up and fuck up, but who says you can't redeem yourself? There's even people that come out of jail and they're like 10 years and they're like, you know what? I still have more purpose. My life isn't over. It's easy to feel like you don't got purpose. It's easy to feel like it's over. But as long as you learn from every hit you take, that's why I like Rocky, man. You feel me? Rocky Balboa, he said, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
That's how winning is done.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, chosen. As long as you work hard and I think you're a decent human being and you fucking treat people with respect and you have compassion and you start having a deeper understanding and you like, you know, it's type of thing where you see your grandma and you're like, how you doing, grandma? You know, you see your pops. You're like, let me make you a cup of coffee. Or you see your mom, you're like, you know, let me rub your shoulders. Have you had a hard day? You know, what do you need from me? So if I'm doing everything I can in my power, isn't that why the power was given to you?
And there's so much beauty that comes into your life when you learn to be selfless. There's so much, and it's the thing is, bro, it doesn't even have to be from the people you're being selflessness. They're just the universe. I really feel like the universe has a way of working out who is a good person, who isn't, and it somehow rewards the people who are.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't come on here to talk anything bad about people, but I've been hearing the same sort of thing from a few people in life, and they're saying to be selfish. Just think about you, bro. And it's like, I don't got a bone in my body that can think like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? If anything, most of my life, I didn't practice enough self-love, so I didn't really give a fuck about myself regardless. Up to the point where having a son, getting in a car accident, getting cut down the middle, having appendicitis, it just got to the point where it was like, you know what? I gotta make a change. I got to make a change because hope is alive.
When do you feel like that turning point in your life hit? Like, how old were you? Were all these things did you have a son and then get in that car crash in a similar time?
Well, here's the thing. I had my son. He's almost 3 now. So
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Gianni, baby G.
Oh, another Italian.
People want to tell me to be selfish, but man, like, I was selfish. I was pretty selfish, even though I said, there was times where I didn't give a fuck about myself, but that didn't really get me nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I had...
How would it? Yeah.
I had some music. Like, I had, like, a girl and shit and fucking... But how happy was I at that point compared to this point now where I'm giving everything I got to everybody? You feel me? Like, you don't want to be that person that's just like, like you wanna give a healthy amount. You wanna enable people. Like, you don't wanna like I'll give the shirt off my back to somebody, but I want you to know how to buy a shirt for yourself.
Yeah, it's not knowledge is power.
You feel me? Like, you want to enable people, and the more I've been selfless, the more that energy has come back. It's always coming back. Or my son will just see it, and who, from his perspective, looking through his eyes, how is his dad? What did his dad raise him to be like?
Yeah.
To fucking, to when you come to someone's house, be like fucking, here's a seat. Do you need some water? What can I do for you?
That's exactly, bro. But the thing is, like, I wish I could, like, call Cap. But you're fucking in here, like, I walk in. The first thing you're like, oh, thank you so much. Like, welcome. Like, here, you need water? Like, you're not bullshitting right now. You know what I mean? So it's like you practice what you preach. I mean,
got to, man. It's the hardest thing. Like,
and little things like that, people don't realize how far that goes and how much that means, bro. Just a simple question like, can I get you a glass of water? What do you need from me? That goes miles, dude. Like, that can change somebody's entire day.
Yeah. Now, it's the thoughtfulness. And the golden rule, like, what they say, treat people how you want to be treated, but they never told you don't expect the same treatment.
Yeah.
Have you ever done work for free? Sometimes it's like, why the fuck would I do that for somebody? What am I getting from it? Well, you might be getting something.
You just don't know. I feel this wholeheartedly. I mean,
don't think with too much expectations.
Yeah.
You expect fucking, as soon as I made some fucking money for myself, I'm like, man, let me buy myself Jordans. Let me buy myself a chain. Let me get tatted up.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me do that. And I expected it was going to give me happiness. The women, the fucking, the nights, the fucking, the energy, the music videos. I thought that would make me happy. But it didn't. Not really. Seeing people that told me that my work impacted their lives is what it was all for. Feel me? Like, I impacted you to be a better father, to be a harder worker, to be a better son, to check in on your people. If I could just spread some knowledge, and even then, like, I don't know everything. You feel me? It's practice being humble, asking a lot of questions, curiosity. They say curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity is what got man here. You feel me? Like,
curiosity made the wheel.
If you see somebody that's like, I kind of touched on this in my last interview. If you see somebody that's like doing good, instead of being like how other homeboys said, oh, how do you move? Well, you just go fucking ask him a question.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do? Bite my head off?
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
What's the worst that happens? He's a dick. He's like, like, fuck off, don't talk to me. Okay, then you're better off not talking to him in the first place, bro. It's like
people tell me like, how come you get all this love, Lucci? Like, what do you do? Like, but it's not like I'm just kissing hella ass. I just put in the work. I let my work speak for itself, and I believe wholeheartedly in myself, in the things that I say. You know, you say practice what you preach. I preach a lot, so that also gives me, you know, high standards for those things that I say. I gotta live it, if not just tell people about it. You know, you can't be a hypocrite to your own advice.
Circling back to what you said about expectations, I really do feel like at a certain point, if you want to be successful, but you don't know your path towards success, you have to stop having expectations. You need to do things without knowing what those things are going to bring you, and stop assuming that working hard on something that you don't know where it's going to bring you is a waste of time. Because if you think in the lens that I'm going to do this thing, it's going to bring me this, you will never be open to the opportunity of things that you couldn't imagine. When I think about, not to think about me, but like when I think about what I do, it's not like a lot of the interviews that I've done that are my favorite interviews have been people that I didn't think that I'd have the best interview with. Yeah. Some of my interviews with people who I'm like, okay, like, I don't, you know, if it's like a smaller upcoming artist and they hit me up and I'm like, should I do this interview? I try to just take everybody who I think is genuine, because despite how many followers they have, despite who their mutuals are, fucking whatever any of that bullshit means, I don't know where it could bring me. I could have a really valuable conversation. I could have a conversation that means something to people. I could have a conversation that means something to me. Yeah. You know, I could have a conversation with somebody your follower count doesn't mean you have substance. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
man, starting out, not to cut you off. Starting out, I got my fucking. Everyone knew me because I was on the streets passing these boys.
That's awesome.
These bad boys. You feel me? Yeah. Life of Lucci. You know what I'm talking about?
Stream it.
The line between living and dying. Bro, like, you know how many people told me, like, bro, I miss old school artists like you that just walks up and gives someone your flyer. You know, I do want to
like the mixtape days.
Like, my whole thing is hustle. It's hustle, hustle. Like you said, it doesn't matter how many numbers you got. Like on my new project, for the first time, I got people with over like 10,000 followers that want to hop on my shit.
That's awesome.
Just cause. You feel me? And it's because all them days where I didn't have barely anything, the numbers just kept on growing, but I didn't really expect them to. I didn't expect my last video to hit 50,000. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But man, these little things ended up being like that little cheat code to affect your life.
Yeah.
It's more than just sharing a link. This is giving you something you can hold, that you can look at.
It's physical.
That you can think about. That you could be like, wow. And then all of a sudden you got other, you know, little Luccis that's like, oh shit, how can I be like that? What did you have to do to be like that?
Yeah.
You feel me? Oh, I want to do the same thing. I want to make my own logo. How'd you feel me?
I still think like this way of marketing, like literally just holding one of these up or like walking around with like something like that. I still think that's such a genius way of marketing. I had or just like going up to people and telling them about your shit. I've like tried to get way better at like just talking to random people about Above the Bridge. Like, you should be proud of your work and you should talk about it, man. And anybody who doesn't want to listen doesn't deserve you in their life.
Even some of these braids and shit. Like, I love getting braids, but I know it's more for other people than for me.
How so? What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Because, like, people will remember me by all the small things that's about me. Mm-hmm. Like, passing a flyer, or all of a sudden they see me on the streets. Like, isn't that dude that looks familiar?
Yeah.
Like where is he from? It's because instead of, like, just throwing money randomly in, like, hella, like, Instagram posts or, like, Facebook shit, I actually go to events and I not only make my appearance, but I kind of go out there and steal everyone's shine. I just take it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do it with a smile. I shake everyone's hand, but they know it's like, oh shit, this dude just walked in and kind of like everyone started staring at him. What is this about him? He don't got 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
He doesn't got a song with E40. But what is it about him that changes the room. And that's the things I focus on. And it's the conversations, it's the meaningful messages, it's the positivity, it's the thoughtfulness when I talk to people. Like my fans and shit like that, they can come up to me and take a picture. They can come up to me and get an autograph. Those are things that I'm not used to. But for the first time, those things are starting to happen to me. Like the other day, fools want to fucking take a picture with me
on
the fucking street, bro. And it's like, what did I do to deserve that?
Yeah.
But all I did was be myself and not play into this, what is a rapper supposed to be like? I'm just a human being, man. I'm just an animal. I'm a warrior.
Just a guy who loves music.
But more so, I've been reading this Kobe Bryant book, R.I.P. Kobe. I believe in the Mamba mentality. And they compared him, at the end of the book, they're comparing him to a warrior monk. So what does that mean to you? You could be fierce. You could go down fighting. But how do you be smart up here, too? How do you show people that you actually care about them? Like, all my people, we go to war for each other. But how do we also be mindful? How do we also show those good examples? The OGs know, you know what? This generation might be all right. This generation might be taken care of. That's how I was raised. I was raised by my OGs. All of a sudden, they're looking for those natural born leaders.
Yeah.
They're looking for the people to speak up, to take a stand. Like, if they said, okay, can you go speak in the front of the White House right now? What would you say? How would you do it?
Yeah.
Some people...
That's a crazy question.
Some people, they get signed or they get put on or they get some type of, like Mac Dre said, it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
So how do you get your foot in the door? How about being a decent motherfucker? Mm-hmm. You feel me? How about being halfway decent in those small areas? I don't try to control people. I don't try to dish out punishment or fear. Mm-hmm. All I do when I see people do their thing is congratulate them. Tell them how well they're doing it. Encourage them. Tell them to go out there and do it again. Feel me? Tell them, I got your back, bro. Because more people need to be like that. That's how the world will grow.
And that's how you build a community, too.
Feel me?
When you start to have people around you that like genuinely want to see you win and are there for any way they possibly can help, that's how you build a community. I feel so lucky, like, for, like, I mean, you saw there were 3 other people here. Like, Chloe was here, Mateo was here, and Edward was here, and they were all helping me, bro. It's like, the idea that we have a team, like, that means so much to me, because it's like, people believe in, like, a thing that I think is valuable. Like, we are all collectively trying to push something. We're trying to help people understand what music can do for them. And I think I'm just so honored that anybody would believe in, like, the idea that they could even, like, that they could be part of this. You know what I mean? Everybody's part of it. You're part of this. Anybody I've ever talked to is a part of this. And I feel so honored that anybody would allow me to come to their house or come to their studio or hang out with them to shoot an interview. It's like, that means the world to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like somebody believes in what I'm doing. They believe in, like, a vision. I'm sure when somebody comes up to you and takes a picture, it's just so inspiring because it means that somebody got something out of what you do.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it right there. I was just gonna say, man, it's a beautiful thing having a strong support system.
Oh my God,
you got to, especially people that are gonna give you honest opinions. They're gonna care about your feelings. They're also gonna tell you when you're looking like a fucking jackass.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be there when you fall. They're gonna be there when you're up. You just need those people that are gonna be there no matter what. Yeah,
no matter what you're on your worst days or your best days, that person's gonna be there because they're there for you and they have your best interest at heart.
But when you drop this video, that's the whole thing. Like you said, community. I'm thinking like I just dropped a video.
Appreciate
what
you.
am I gonna do to get to put this out there?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do to tell everyone about Above the Bridge? I'm gonna put this on my link tree. I'm gonna tell people as much as I can with my powers, and that's the whole point. If everyone is doing those little parts, it will put the spotlight back on the underground.
100%, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And I think some people have the mentality, especially in the Bay, where the music scene is very tapped in. It's very connected, you know, like if you're in the music scene in the Bay, you kind of understand that like it's kind of like everybody knows everybody type thing. It's not as big as like LA. So when you're here, people have this mentality sometimes that I think is a wrong mentality, that only certain people can win. I don't think there's a limited number of winners. I don't buy into that. I don't believe. Yeah, like I don't believe that like if somebody streams one person's song, they're not going to stream somebody else's. I don't really believe that. Like I think we can all win. I think everybody can be up. It's a matter of, like you said, support. Because if all your friends support you, if all people that you rock with support you, that builds your base. And then if they're reposting your stuff or streaming your song and one of their homies hears you, there's your second level. And then if maybe they play your song at a party, you level up 4 more times. And it's I don't think there's no reason that only some people can win. And what I like about that natural progression anyway is the best people rise to the top, and the people who are the best generally are the ones that work the hardest and deserve it the most.
Yeah, real shit. Nah, in the city it's very cliquey. Very cliquey. Born and raised, as you can see, city on my neck.
What's the other one? Is that a moth?
It's a spider butterfly.
Whoa.
It represents the contrast of good and evil, light and darkness.
Whoa.
This reminds me about life.
What's the one on your hand?
This is the Trinacria.
Want to show the camera?
Trinacria is the Sicilian symbol on the flag.
I probably should have known that because I'm Italian.
But this is ancient. This is dates back before Sicily.
I bet my grandparents would like know what that is.
Tell them about the 3-legged woman.
What is it? What does it represent? Like, what does it mean?
3 points of the islands. The island is a triangle.
Yeah.
And 3 is a holy number. It's Trinity. You know, things of 3. Usually they say, you know, leaves of 3, let them be. Means they're poisonous. You know,
like poison ivy.
Things of 3. You know, there's something to that. You know, and this was just a dope symbol. You know, I come from a very traditional Sicilian family. My grandma actually is a professional violinist.
That's awesome.
Barbara Riccardi, and she's super talented. Been playing for the opera, the symphony, the ballet, Lucasfilms. She's been doing.
Wow, that's incredible.
She's the matriarch of my family, and I come from a whole family of musicians. My dad is a producer, a drummer. He makes speakers.
Yeah, do you want to show that?
Sure.
That's so cool. Yeah, I would love for you to show that because that was so cool to me. Yeah, so tell them about that. So sick.
Boom Tube Slap Lab. This piece right here. Let me just.
That's so fire.
Hold my baby. So this piece right here, I don't know, for y'all new listeners, new followers, or people that know me already.
Hopefully we get you a lot of new people too from this.
Baby on the Plug, my first few videos had this speaker, man. My dad made the speaker out of a PVC,
I think,
PVC pipe and from scratch wiring on an amp.
That's incredible.
This is the Slap Lab. You feel me? Right now, you know, it's just a prop. You know, it's not functional, but you know, I'm gonna fix it up and get it in more videos. But this right here is something I also want to tell people about. I support all artists.
Yeah.
You feel me? This is a piece of art.
100%.
You know, you are a piece of art.
Thank you.
You feel me? Life is all about, you know, cherishing the art around you and noticing and acknowledging. You feel me? Like, that's half of the people, half of the artists I meet are crazy in the head. But, you know, we all are a little fucking crazy.
That's why people make art.
But you know what? It's all about they want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And they want someone to notice, like, is that a PVC pipe? Oh, that's kind of cool. Like,
can you? So, does your dad sell speakers like that?
Well, I think we might like make a website and start selling them. Right now, they're all just custom pieces. So probably like there's like 15 to 20 right now, all different kinds. There's like all types of different designs.
If he makes a site, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Sorry, I thought you were
man-made shit.
If he makes a site, and like wants to put stuff out, let me know. I'd love to promote it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, we got my dad is very like antisocial. Like him and his boys. So I gotta give a little backstory.
I would just love to promote him. Yeah.
Him and his boys started their own independent record label called Fit to Proceed (FTP).
Okay, yeah.
And
okay. I was thinking
Fit to Proceed. Yeah. I'll show you the logo in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And there was their own independent record label because my dad's homeboy could rap. Like he could rap his ass off.
Yeah.
And his other homeboy could rap and sing. So they were like, we're gonna be the main artist. And then my dad learned to be a producer. So this shit literally runs in my blood.
That's
like
awesome.
when I was growing up, they had me in music videos. They had me doing ad-libs and songs. They made beats where I was like the main vocal in the background. Like my family came from a record label, but my dad and them pretty much like didn't fall through with it. People fall off or people stop doing it. My uncle really he really inspired me to rap. I know you're gonna be watching this. Forced One, Brother Ron, and Biz Boses.
Shout out.
Y'all are my big bros. I could not do this without y'all. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for showing a young kid like me that I could do it too. Y'all changed my fucking life. And I would love to make more music with y'all, but thanks for passing me the torch. That's basically what happened. Like they had the shit going. My dad was the producer, and then I started doing my shit.
So is that how you learn how to produce?
Well, yeah, that's how I learned to produce.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That's how I learned to write and to freestyle. Like at first, it was like you can't rap unless you can freestyle.
Of course,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like my dad, he actually produces for me to this day.
That's so sick.
He heard my first album. He says, "You're really about to do this rap shit, huh, son? You really about to do this rap shit, huh, son? You really about to do this rap shit? Okay." And then he started producing for me. So some of my best joints are produced by my dad. Like if you heard my album, Line Between Living and Dying, on 510 to the 415, produced by my dad. Lucci. Lucci. Got my lady and my baby by my side. 510 to the 415. Produced by my dad, bro. On like not even bullshitting.
That probably keeps you guys like super close, having like a really close relationship if you're working musically together. That's awesome.
Again, with the speakers, he just doesn't like to be on camera. He doesn't want the credit. He's just like just show people what I do.
Yeah, let the art speak for itself.
Just tell him, what I told you. You feel me? Like, I'm the speaker. Really, I'm the vessel. Mm-hmm. So, they all tell me a bunch of shit. I know if my dad got on camera, he could fucking be a professor.
You think so?
Like, he's super fucking smart. Like, crazy smart. But he just doesn't like to be around people. He don't trust nobody. He's paranoid. There's all the shit that happened. Like, in this very house, I'm going to give a little backstory. My dad jumped in the fire to save me in this house.
Whoa.
This room was on fire back in the day, 2008. I lived in the room down the hall, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. It was my bedtime, and I just couldn't sleep. I was restless. I was like sweating, and I was like, I'm going to go upstairs and get a snack. My dad said, be in bed by 10. I'm going to be outside. He was outside, with his homies. And I go upstairs, and I'm looking for a snack, and I see my uncle playing Crash and Kazooie, fucking playing Ratchet. And I'm like, I'm trying to play with my uncle. I can't sleep. So I go play with my uncle. All you hear is boom! And hella fire came from the fucking windows. The whole house shook. And fucking all the glass in the whole house just shattered. Like it was a shockwave. Then the fire started in the garage, and it was a gas leak. And
so the gas tank just exploded in your house?
Everything.
Wow.
And then the whole downstairs, this whole first story of the house was on fire. And that was my room next to the garage. So my dad, he's outside. I'm upstairs, by the way. I'm upstairs. This happens. I'm hella young. I'm in my underwear. My uncle just picks me up and says, "We're going to my grandma's room. We're gonna go out the back. And we're going to the side. We're in survival mode, right?" My dad, he thinks I'm downstairs in bed where I'm supposed to be. And by the time we got outside, he already went in and jumped in the fire for me and was looking for me. And by the time I got outside, they were pulling him from the garage, and he was steaming and bright red all over his arms and his back, and he fucking almost got burned alive.
Oh my God, that's insane.
So my dad.
That reminds me of the scene from The Outsiders.
My dad, yeah. My dad don't like to be on camera, man. You know, but
he doesn't have to be on camera. Yeah, Jesus, his story speaks for itself. Jesus Christ.
You feel me? Like I'm loaded with stories, man. Like how you told me earlier, like has anyone ever bipped your car or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I'm loaded with stories. I just try to tell the positive ones. And bring.
Do you want to tell the one that
the least positive ones, you know, in times like this?
Yeah. Do you want to tell the one that tell me? Do you want to tell the one that you told me when I asked you that question?
Yeah. All right. Well, so
if you don't want to, you don't have to.
After that whole situation went down, I mean, this is a real thing.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of value.
Real life.
Yeah.
This is rap shit. This is real life shit, bro. You feel me? It doesn't matter. I'm from San Francisco, California. I go by the name of Lucky Lucci. You feel me? This can happen to anybody, you know, it's regular city shit. So obviously the shit happened in my house, so we had to relocate while the house was getting rebuilt, right? So we relocated. We moved down to Bayview over by City College and Ocean Avenue and, you know, more over there. And, you know, we're living in a spot for, you know, a cool amount of time. It was really nice, you know, they moved us in a cool little house, you know, and this house was getting remodeled and my dad was in the hospital. You know, he's like, just, you know, got the bandages on his arms and wearing compression gloves, and he's like looking like Freddy Krueger and shit, you know. But once he got better again, you know, we're just being in the house, and he was planning on rebuilding this house, and we're gonna move here. But while we were there, you know, someone fucking ran up in our house in the middle of the night. Fucking, my dad was gone. It was just me and my grandma, and my great grandma,
smiling at me,
and I'm not even sure what happened. I was so fucking young. I was like 9, 10 years old, right? There's a side door, you know. That's why they say back door. If there's ever a side door or a back door, you gotta have that shit locked down, bro. You feel me? No one's gonna just bust in through the front door of your house.
And take this as a word of advice. I mean, it can happen to anybody.
They will bust in through the side door. They bust in through the side door. All you see is 6 niggas masked up. They go in. They said, "Where's such and such room?" I'm not gonna disclose names. Yeah. Where's such and such room? Right? We're looking for some shit, right? And I'm the only one there. So they grab me up. They're like, "Where's the shit? Where's the shit at?" Pulling me up. Where's the shit? You feel me? And I stitch lit, bro. As a kid, stitch lit. Not even saying shit. I'm like. I don't even think I said anything. I was just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you're 8. You don't know anything. You're 8.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think they just shoved me off to the side. And they're like, fuck you. We're just going to run through the rooms. So I go and I run to my grandma's room, and she's already on the phone with the police and shit. And then we waited, and they left, and the fucking police came. And I'll never forget, my fucking dad shows up at the front door, and it's like raining. It looks like Gotham City. It's like raining, and he's just standing there looking hella fucking mad, just like, and he's like just getting rained on, but didn't give a fuck because someone just ran up in our house after that whole shit happened. You feel me? And after that, you know, we rebuilt this house, moved back over here, and never looked back since. I'm not sure what happened. You know, sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's not. Maybe they just knew. They were watching. They knew that my dad is a big motherfucker, you know, his boys, but all of a sudden everyone's gone. Oh, there's only a grandma and a kid in the house.
Yeah.
We can just bust in. You know what I mean?
So dude, you feel like talking to you, like you have lived a ridiculous amount of life in 22 years. Like you have had so many crazy experiences in 2 years. Like that whole story, the fire, you're a father. Tell me more about I know you had some health struggles with your scar and everything. So you got in a car crash? Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, let me. Oh yeah. My belly button will never look the same.
My dad has a scar just like that.
Yeah.
Right here, he had open heart surgery. Same kind of scar.
It's crazy. When you go through surgery, you end up finding out there's a lot of people that go through surgery.
Yeah.
You know, like, but before that,
you don't realize how common it is.
I had no idea anything like that could happen to me. I had no idea that shit was possible. But all of a sudden, you feel me? I started telling people more about it, and people started hitting me up on Instagram, like with their stories.
Wow.
You know, and how they were inspired or how they were impacted. They're like, "How'd you get through that, bro? That looks terrible. Fuck, I got my belly button gut. I got straight gutted." You feel me? But anyways, how it happened, I'm not like super sure because appendicitis. Yeah. Appendicitis is very common. It's like 1 out of 3 males get it. 1 out of 4 males, like super common in their lifetimes. It's usually genetic. Like my dad had it when he was around my age. You feel me? But he had it less severe because my shit bursted in my body while I was out of performance. I was performing, doing a music video. All of a sudden, my guts started hurting. I started feeling a sharp pain in my guts. The car accident happened like a year before that.
So did they say it was related or no?
Well, they said that after the car accident, they were like, the car accident, I walked out of the car accident. Yeah. We flipped a fucking Charger 6 times off the road, busting like 80 on like a 90-degree turn, like a dumbass. I'm in the back seat, right? And everyone just sustained injuries, and I crawled out the back window with only I had like a head gash, but it wasn't that deep. So I was just banged up. Like my back hurt, but I was just banged up. Do I think that a year later that shit fucked up my guts and possibly made my appendix burst? I don't know. Was it the fucking drinking? Was it the fucking smoking? Was it heavy weightlifting? Before I could squat like 3 plates.
Damn, that's a lot.
I could bench like 2 plates. I was like really like into lifting heavy. I don't know where it's from. All I know was...
So you were on... so it literally burst. Like, it burst?
It bursted in my body. Like, usually they catch it while it's early, so they do like a microsurgery. So like you'll have appendicitis and then like your shit's about to burst. We got to remove it. So they make a micro incision. So they just like put a camera inside, they look at it, and then they could be able to like suck it out through the side or some shit like that. I'm not, you feel me? But my shit was bursted, gushing, fucking poisonous fluids all over my fucking intestines. I'm over here like fucking can't swallow anything. I'm like throwing up blood. Hella crazy ass shit, right? I'm fucking, so I get home after the music video. We finished the shoot. I'm like, I paid my director fucking hundreds of dollars. Like, I'm not, I finished the show. I'm not stopping for nothing. You feel me? And during our last scene, like I literally was sitting in the car and I was just like this. I was in the car and they're like, Lucci, we're ready for you to shoot. I'm just like, huh? And I'm just dying. I'm straight up dying. I'm just like, huh?
And like not even better. You were like literally dying.
And
like,
I thought I was sick. I was like, what the fuck did I eat? Or some stupid ass shit. I'm like, that fucking taco that last night. What the fuck did I eat? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, so I got out, did the scene. And then right after we were done shooting, I look over and I just, yak out my guts. I'm like, bro, take me home. Like, I'm done. I told my director, I'm like, we're going to have to shoot another day. Like, we're going to have to do half today and half the next time. Like, I'm hella fucking sick. He's like, all right, bro. He's like, it's all good. I ain't tripping, you feel me? So I'm like, cool. I get to the house. I'm so fucking tired and like dehydrated that I think I just drank some water and just passed out. And that's what I want to tell you guys not to do. Do not do that. Do not do what I just said I did. Don't just say it's nothing. Yeah. Don't just say, oh, let me just drink some water and sleep on it. Nah, bro. People don't just get sharp-ass pains in their guts for hours. People don't just have to yak up hella red fluids. That's not normal. You feel me? If you ever feel like that, if you ever feel like that, go to the hospital, bro. Get checked. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. It's not worth it. It's not worth what I went through waiting till the next day. I'm thinking, I got work in the morning. I got work. I got to pay bills. But you know what? Your health is more important. So you can go get that bag. So you can go work.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Of course.
The next day, I woke up and I felt worse. And I literally felt so bad that I started crying. Like, I've never, like, felt pain so bad that I just start bursting into tears.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, like, hurt. Like a hurt animal. I started curling up in a ball. I'm just, like, hella dying. And then I get to the hospital. They're like, oh, shit. You know, we got waivers for you to sign because we got to cut you open right now. Feel me? Or you're going to die straight up. And I was like, all right.
Jesus.
Let me call my mom. Let me just tell my family I'm going to be all right.
How old were you?
This was last year, bro. So I was 20.
21?
21, yeah.
So you drive to the hospital and they just cut you open like that?
So I drove to the hospital. They told me what was going to happen. I was like in a waiting room. They gave me morphine. And just to tell y'all a little disclaimer, morphine doesn't make you feel high when you're really fucked up. Like, if you're
it makes you feel normal,
if you're kind of fucked up, like you got like some whatever, like a little scrape or something, like it will make you feel high. But if you're dying, it just makes you feel comfortable. It's like I went from like fucking can't fucking move, can't walk, can't do shit, to like now I'm laying and I'm kind of just like able to just like lay there in silence. But it didn't like fix me. Morphine doesn't fix you. So I just sat there, took hella morphine. Once I got more pains, I was like, give me some more morphine. I'm fucking in pain. And they're saying it's like one of the worst pains to feel. It's like appendicitis, like worse than...
I've heard that,
like,
yeah.
It's like fucking... It's like having a baby. It's like something crazy. It's crazy as shit. And once they were ready to cut me open, they pulled me to the top floor. They explained to me the surgery. They're like, we're going to put a mini camera in the side of you, and if it doesn't work... This was at SF General, by the way. Shout out SF General.
Shout out
I
SF
love
General.
you, all you nurses and doctors. You guys are fucking great. Lifesavers. And I got up there, and they're like, but we're going to have to do this emergency surgery. We're going to have to cut you from, like, your bladder up to, like, the top of your core. So this cut that's, like, on the outside, it's, like, my top of my belly button to, like, the bottom of, like where your underwear would be. But that's only on the outside. The inside is further. The inside is higher.
Like, even deeper.
It's higher and deeper.
Yeah.
And lower. Like, so I couldn't piss. I couldn't even, like, take a shit.
Jesus.
Afterwards. I couldn't feel my private parts at all. Like, I was just like hella wounded. I woke up the next morning and I looked down, I got bandages on me, and like, you know, of course when I laid down for the surgery, they're like, count to 10, you know, and they're like, most people don't make it to 8. So I counted and I got to like 6, and then I just like woke up the next day and I was all bandaged up, and then I had to speak with a nutritionist and a fucking physical therapist, and they were talking about how I was going to recover. And that was it.
So what was the recovery like? What did that entail? How long did that take?
Oh, Lord. Well, I was able to go back to work in 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
But I wasn't able to lift anything heavy for like 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, what the general surgeon did, like when I came for my follow-up appointment, also when I left the hospital, I had to leave with staples on my scar, staples to hold my guts together, and a fluid bag. I got this scar where the fluid bag was, so it's like a bag hanging out of you, and that's just hanging with your fluids in it. It's like,
Jesus,
and they're like,
it's out of a movie.
They're basically saying once the fluids get clear, come back and we'll take it out. And when they ripped it out, it felt like an immense pressure just lifted off of me. It was like a yank, and it was like a weird, like
you suddenly lose like 50 pounds.
Like your stomach like deflexes and flexes and like compensates for the hole in your fucking gut.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's so fucking weird. And then the dude was taking out the staples. He was like, yeah, man, you know, I'll just take it easy. Just listen to your body. And he gave me the best advice. He's like, look, I'm supposed to tell you all this, but I'm going to tell you right now, listen to your body. Do what you think you can do. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to tell you fucking don't climb the stairs, because all in all, working out and fucking, it's a part of recovery.
It's good for you, yeah.
You know, you don't want to hurt yourself more, but you do want to do, like that's some of the best advice I got. Do what you think you can do. So little shit I'll do here and there. I'd walk around. Obviously, when I first got out, like when all that was happening, I was like in the bed for like weeks.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I wasn't like really doing shit. Like that was the only point where I went to the mall and I was like, let me buy some video games because I'm not about to be doing shit. Like I'm really like I don't even play video games.
Yeah.
Like, let me go buy some video games. Like you feel me? And I actually when I got to the fucking mall, I was like, you know what? I need a wheelchair. Like, I can't walk around the mall right now. Like this is serious. Like so I was literally like that was the only time where you could just be in a wheelchair and it's like and I felt for all those people that got hurt or were in an accident or were disabled. I just instantly I was handicapped. My legs shrunk. I went from like 170 pounds to like 135.
Jeez.
Like I lost like 45 pounds or something ridiculous like that. I used to have ass. I went from and I fucking lost all my weight in my legs. So I had like skinny little chicken legs. I'm a basketball player. Like that was really mentally. It was the mental challenge. It was like you can't fucking piss. You can barely take a shit. You for sure can't walk or run. So what can you do? So there would be. I'll tell my producer to come through. We'd make beats. You know, I smoke a little weed. But even then, it's like you don't want to cough or laugh because you're like, and your shit's
that's
hurting.
So awful. You can't laugh. That's terrible.
Laugh. They say laughter is the best medicine, and I couldn't laugh. I had to sit there during a funny ass movie and be like,
sit there hella straight face. That's not funny.
You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, so it was like weird shit like that in the beginning. And then as I got my way into it, I'd like go to the court and I'd like shoot free throws. And that's about all I could do. There'd be hella times where I'd just go and I'd just like shoot little mid ranges, like no jump. You know? And then I ease my way into like being able to just put my arms over my head. Just be like,
wow. Yeah.
Or you know what? Being able to do this.
Just stand up. Just like straight up stand up and put your... That's crazy.
Being able to do this. Stretching, bro.
Yeah.
Stretching. To this day, before I go play basketball, I have at least 15 minutes of stretching.
That's smart. I need to get better with
15 minutes,
that.
bro. You know, and I've learned some weird stomach stretches, and you know, it just took months. And they also told me like, don't pick up your son. They said you can't lift 60 pounds.
Oh.
So I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna be a father and not alone not be able to lift my ass up to go take a shit, but I can't even lift my son up to wipe his ass.
Yeah.
So I'm a pretty fucking useless father at that point, right? So I'm feeling hella depressed and useless. So when I did find the strength, every time my son would come over, I would still pick him up. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care.
This is the one thing that's worth it.
You know, I'm gonna put him on the side of me. I just wouldn't like. I'd be like, careful. You know, don't jump on Daddy's stomach. You know, don't. Yeah. You know, because he likes to jump on me and lay with me and wrestle. And there was hell time I'd tell him like, Daddy's hurt. You know, can't wrestle.
Yeah.
But I'd still like, I'd have to pick my son up, put him on my shoulders. So I was doing like hella like working out. You know, like I was doing really small shit and then easing my way. And then, like, to the point where I could do push-ups. And, like, that was, like, hella far ahead. Like, it took hella long just to be able to do push-ups. And then the second hardest thing was to be able to pull myself up. Do pull-ups. Uh-huh. So then I'd start do hella pull-ups. And then all of a sudden, my core ended up getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I'm not going to lie. Some nights, it would be so sore. It'd be like, I'd be afraid that I was going to, like, give myself a hernia or some shit, or I was gonna tear it open again, or I would honestly, the first time I took off my bandage in the shower, I went lightheaded. Like I felt like my ears popped and I started losing my balance. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm about to fall out the shower right now. And my girlfriend was right there and she had to catch me. What? And I like lost consciousness for like 3 seconds, and I was like, what the fuck? And there'd be times where I'd like touch my wound or touch my belly button, and I would start feeling nauseous and I'd start feeling dizzy, and I'd be like, what the fuck? So mostly what my uncle would tell me a lot, he'd be like, just go out in the sun and just look at it. Like, look at your wound all the time and talk to it.
Why did he tell you that?
Feel it. Because it's to mentally get over that hump of this is like imagine your belly button right now.
Yeah.
Being like a fucking knife in it. Like, that's your softest part of your body. Like, this is your soft.
Yeah, literally.
Soft. So, it was all mental, bro. It was all, like, getting over the fact that I, getting over thinking I was going to shit myself or tear my stomach open doing regular shit. You know, looking at it, feeling it, and then over time putting pressure on it. Or stretching it a little bit. Or playing with my belly button. Like, there would be so long, I'll tell my girlfriend, I'll be like, quit touching me. I'm like, don't touch my belly. She'd be like, but I love touching you. I love touching you. Don't touch my belly. Like, I would feel like ticklish, like hella like an animal.
Yeah.
Like I just got a wound. Like, I would hella protect my wound. Hella protectful, hella like a
almost like primal. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like you resort to like a different state of mind.
And then I just got to the point where it started feeling stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I started doing super stretches and then like laying out in the sun, doing hot and cold showers, you know, using the thermodynamics treatment.
What do you think of the cold shower thing? I have like some interesting opinions on that. I did it for a year. I did cold showers I did not take a hot shower for a year when I was 19 to 20.
Shit,
like,
bro.
Thank you, appreciate you.
That's hard.
Appreciate you. And it was like I kind of stopped because I didn't see the value in it as much. But in the beginning, I got a lot of value of it. It was my senior year of high school. It was my senior year of high school. So I guess it was from 18 to 19. But I used to run track. I used to run track and cross country. And before my races, I'd get super nervous, like super anxious. And I never knew why. Because I didn't get like that when I hooped at all. And it was really weird. I never could understand why. And because it wasn't, like, the reason wasn't because I was getting nervous for the race. Because I didn't really give a fuck about the results of the race. Like if I ran a bad time, I was, like, upset for, like 2 minutes. And I was like, whatever. I did it for fun and to stay in shape. I loved it. I learned a lot from it. But I wasn't really there to like be the best, you know. It was like whatever. I just like running and like staying in shape. And I love the team, but I can never understand why why I would get super anxious before races. I would get like nauseous. I would throw up. Like it was at that point, like it was really bad. And I still to this day don't really understand why. I think it was probably because like it's almost like when you're preparing to run a race, it's like just like you're pretty much just waiting to feel pain. which is weird. But in a weird, like, removed way, one thing that really helped me with that was taking cold showers. And I know it sounds strange, but I think it was because, like, I'd wake up and, like, the first thing I would do is shower. Like, one thing that made it really easy for me was I got in a good habit of, like, the first thing I do when I wake up is I shower. Because I get out of bed, and especially in the winter, oh my god, the winter is just tough. But like, 'cause my house gets hella cold, and I live downstairs, so my shit gets cold as fuck. But like, what I would do is like, I'd get out of bed when I was the most warm, because you know you're sleeping, whatever, you got body heat, and I would just like literally sprint into the shower and just turn it on. I'd be like half asleep in the shower, but it would wake me the fuck up. But in a weird like removed way, it helped me with my race anxiety a lot, because I felt like I learned to understand that, like, okay, I took a cold shower this morning. I already did something hard. I can do this. You know, like, it gives you like it gave me like a starting point. Like I already had completed challenge 1. So that made challenge 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 not as hard. But then I felt like, I mean, it only really helped with the race anxiety stuff. So it was like after I graduated from high school, I kind of stopped doing it eventually, but I was happy I did it. I learned a lot from it. What was your experience with cold showers like?
Man, honestly, the first time for me was jumping in the ocean.
Whoa.
Feel me?
Yeah.
It was very like spiritual. It was like I don't like cold showers. You know, I never was like super thinking that cold showers were gonna benefit me, but during the time where I was motivated to go jump in the ocean, my uncle was like, come through and fucking let's go throw the football and fucking have a good time playing music. And I don't know, man, like fucking we're just like hella warm and sweaty and he's like, all right, let's go to the water, bro. Let's go to the water. And I'm looking around my boys. I'm like my boy, I'm like, you gonna come with me? You gonna come with me? And they're like, nah, bro, I ain't jumping in that cold ass water, bro. The water's over cold, bro. It's just you gonna burn me alive. You gonna burn me. You gonna burn me. So cold it's gonna burn me. and I'm like, to me, it was more of like a challenge. And I was like, you know what? I love challenges. Like challenges is almost like my middle name. I love like when someone say I can't do something or someone says I'm too scared. It's like, what? Like, oh, you think I'm scared? All right, yeah. You think I can't do it? I'm like, all right, now I'm putting my can do it hat on. And I'm gonna go do it, right? I'm gonna show you that fucking it's all in your head. And I went, and then I'm not gonna lie, like when I put my ankles in, my ankles started hurting, like stinging. Like I was like, holy shit.
Your ankles?
Well, this water is fucking cold.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then my boy Dom is just like, Birdman, by the way. Shout out Birdman.
Shout out Birdman.
But he was like, all you gotta do, bro, is just get used to your ankles getting that cold, and then when your ankles turn numb, you just splash some water on the back of your neck and dive in. And I was like, bro, you sound like a fucking maniac.
I feel like you should have just jumped in, period. Because then there's like,
oh my God, it was like so much weight. But then again, I'm not gonna lie, like the whole ankle thing kind of helped me because every time I go jump in cold water, I let my ankles rest in it for like 2 minutes.
It like acclimates you to it.
Like 2 minutes, and then my body gets numb to the cold before I jump in, and it's like. At first, like they say that stinging pain, but then it turns into numbness and like euphoria and turns into comfortability. So then splash the water on the back of my neck because that's a sensory thing. Like your spine has a lot of nerve endings. So like when you feel a cold splash on your back, it makes you like jump. Like So I put some cold water on my back and then I jumped in the wave. And I'm not gonna lie. I came out the other side a different person. You know what I mean? And when I seen my guy do it first, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I would have been able to do it if I didn't see my guy do it first. You know what I mean? But he was an animal. He was like twice my age. So he's like my OG. And I'm like, you know what? I might have to be him one day and tell the younger generation, watch me do this first. Because instantly when I saw he could do it, I saw that I could do it.
Do you feel like that with your son? Like when you're around your son, do you see him like kind of trying to model things you do? Like almost pick up after things, your like mannerisms and
stuff? My son is like Lucci 2.0. You know what I mean? He's Gianni, man.
I love that name.
But then again, like,
oh, that's hella cool, bro.
Gianni.
That's awesome.
Footprints right there.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a really cool idea for a tattoo.
But yeah, man, like he definitely has a mind of his own. But you should see him play ball, bro. Like,
really?
He loves basketball. Like he's gonna be better than me. Like I don't mean to like talk myself up. Hey, if you played against me, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's ass whooping time.
Oh God.
It's ass whooping time. Not taking it easy. I started when I was 8. You know what I mean? I picked up a ball when I was 8. My dad brought me to the court. I shot it. I'm like, I suck, and I made it. And then ever since that day, I was like, man, I love this shit. My dad wasn't like that though. He wasn't like good at basketball, but then I brought my son to the court, and it was more one of those like outing type things. Like I would always ask for advice. Like, what do you do with your kid when you get one? I mean, it's kind of like how to be a parent for dummies. What do you do with a kid when you get one, right? And most of the advice...
What do you do with a kid? What do I do with this? What is this?
Most of it, they're telling me they're just like, go do things that you like to do.
Oh, I love that. I was just about to say that.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go bring his ass to the basketball court. Whether he likes basketball or not, he might watch me.
Maybe he'll love it,
And then he was like watching me, and then all of a sudden he started dribbling, and then all of a sudden I got on his own court, and he's like shooting, and then I seen him put the ball in the air, and he was like,
No.
And I was
way.
like, what the fuck? And he's like one. He's like 1.5 at that point. Like, he's stupid young. And he like put the ball on the rim, and he had the push and the flick, and I was like, that's super developed for how old you are. And then I got him, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get him his own little mini size basketball, right? So the basketball is like this big or whatever, like you could palm it, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's dribbling with his right hand and right hand only. And I'm like, take away his right hand, I'm like, dribble with your left hand. And then all of a sudden he's like,
this kid's gonna be so good, bro.
And he's like 2 years old, dribbling with both hands, shooting, and then after like I can dunk a basketball. I really love dunking because I feel like it inspires people so much because I'm not that tall.
Yeah,
like,
I love
holy
that.
shit, you can fucking dunk. That's like ridiculous. So then I dunked one time in front of him, and I was like, I'm like, get off the court. And then all of a sudden, you see him come home, and he's like, he's like, get off my court. And he's like, it was like, oh, so funny. And then all of a sudden, I was like, him trying to be like me, bro. Like, he like literally saw me dunk and was like, and then certain times I'm like watching basketball videos on my phone. I like to watch basketball videos in my spare time. Like, shout out all the basketball creators. You guys, you know, really inspire me as a creator.
Ball Collector.
We're all in the YouTube space.
Yeah,
White Iverson, Ball's Life, Devin the Lab, Hezzy God. Those are my God. Hezzy God answered me on IG. Shout out Hezzy God. That's my guy.
Bro, what's
that's my guy.
What's the one that's based here? The Bay Area one that when I used to hoop, everybody like what was it called? I don't remember, but like kids.
The hoop mixtape.
Yes, the hoop mixtape thing.
Mixtapes.
And all like the rawest high school players get the hoop mixtape, and then they like put it in their bio.
Like Akil Carr, 5'6".
Yeah.
He was raw. Or even I was watching
Kyrie Walker,
Trevor, or Seventh Woods, the dunker. Oh my god! But it was crazy. Like, I started watching basketball videos, and all of a sudden my son's like, basketball. That was his first 3-syllable word, was basketball.
Oh, it's so cool.
You know what I mean? So one day I'm telling him, bro, your first word was basketball, 3-syllable word. You know, he can do other shit too. Like, he likes to freestyle.
No way, what?
He likes to draw. Bro,
that's so awesome.
My son can freestyle, bro. Like he doesn't really got like words or bars.
But he'll like go with flow.
He got
like
rhythm. He got flow. He'll be like, Gianni, go get my cup and I pee in the toilet. Get a buck, turn up, You know, it's like what? It's like, or we'll play a beat and he'll.
He's like,
he'll start dancing and he'll start getting. I was like, oh, and then it clicked for me. It was like, because he saw me get so excited about those things first.
Yeah.
And I was
so that's all he knows what to be excited about.
I'm like, holy shit. So then I started using that on more things. I started getting him excited to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
I started getting him excited to make breakfast. I started getting him excited to brush our teeth. It's like, all right, it's brush our teeth time. Yeah, brush our teeth. You know? And I think that's what kids want. That's what people want. They want not just let's do it, but that little extra motivation to do it.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? So like, yeah, with the whole thing back on the cold showers, I had this boy and he was older than me. His name is Cortez, man. Shout out Fat Face Cortez. I'll never forget what you told me,
Shout
man.
out Cortez.
Tap in with me, bro. You feel me? Really changed my life in the better. Upgraded me in all ways. I asked him, how do I get in shape? And one of the first things he says was take cold showers.
Teaches you discipline? Is that what he was going for?
It was discipline. I don't know if it had to do with like actually me losing weight, but it was for sure discipline. It was waking up early. It was like cold showers, and it was also like in the morning I would only eat like a banana or something, or like an apple. You feel me? Like something to get me going. But it was mostly what the doctor told me too. Listen to your body. Like, you know how much consumption you need compared to how you think you need to consume things. Like, there would be times where like I could eat 2 meals in one sitting just because I could. But that doesn't mean that you should. So I started treating food and treating things that I consume more like energy. So I'll just be like, in the morning, if I feel the need, like I need an extra thing to get me going, I'll make me a bagel and some fucking eggs and shit like that. You know, but if I don't, I'll just eat a banana.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I know you talking about being Italian. I'm Italian too. I don't know if your household was like this, but like growing up, like the Italian culture is so based in food, and that's beautiful. Like our PR people love to eat. Yeah. Eating's great, but with that comes a lot of like unhealthiness. I find like it's almost like being raised like super Italian. My grandparents were very Italian. Yeah. My parents are very Italian. Like my dad looks like he's straight out of The Godfather. Like, slick back, greaser hair. Like nice. Anybody's met my dad, he full like looks like he's from the mafia. Nice. But like yeah, literally it's like both. So it's like the combination. This is the combination I grew up with, right? Italian household where like obviously Italians eat, and then it's both my parents are chefs. So it's like man. I grew up like meant to be fat. So it's like and I was. So it was like I found like the Italian culture thing. It was almost like difficult because a lot of like my sweet grandmother. I love my grandmother. If she's watching this, Grandma Marilyn, I love you. But she'll always be like, oh, like my other grandma too. Actually, on my Peruvian side, she'll be like, oh, like eat. Take another plate. Here's more. Eat more. Always eat more. And it's like big ass meals and all that. So it's like the Italian culture, people eat. And it's hard to kind of like get out of that mind state. At least it was for me growing up.
Yeah, now for me, man, like none of my family is super like believes in diet. Like there is diet. What is a diet? Like, I'm the first person that really in my family like go by a diet. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like my dad always be telling me like that's the thing. My dad and my girlfriend. I live with my dad, my girlfriend, my son. My dad and my girlfriend are chefs, so they can fucking.
So you feel me? Yeah.
Man, all I gotta do is clean. I like to clean. Yeah. I like to do what I'm good at. Yeah. If you're a chef, you just have a passion for seeing people grub on your shit. Yeah. And it's like my dad, he's like, I don't care about this pasta. I won't even eat a plate. I just want to see you eat it. I just want to see you eat it, right? But you know, we always argue. He's like, man, you can eat a lot and still be in shape. And I'm like, yeah. But you need to fucking work out a lot. Yeah. You know? Like, if I'm not doing much that day, then I'm not going to really eat much that day because I'm not really burning anything. But if I'm, like, working, then it's like, all right, cool. Smack a burrito. Smack fucking this. Smack that. It's like going towards the energy or going towards your muscles. But completely. In Italy, they have meals within meals. Yeah, literally. You know what I mean? Like, you go to dinner, and it's like 3 meals plus dessert. Mm-hmm. It's like the fucking the appetizers, the first course,
which is like a salad or a soup,
and then the second course, and then they'll pull out a third thing, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
And then they're like, "Here's the tiramisu," after,
and then here's the fucking, and then, but you're drinking wine the whole time, so you're not really noticing how much you're eating. So it's like that's the trick. It's vino, bro.
It's the vino. You know
what I mean? So drink a little wine. I mean, like. Spaghetti and pastas is high in carbs because it's like eating a bunch of bread. You know, you eat a bunch of bread. And
dude, Italian food is like the most it's like the most concentrated carbs you could. It's all carbs. Like all pastas are carbs, bro. Like there's so many different kinds of like Italian breads, like focaccia and all that stuff. It's all carbs, but it's all so good, dude.
Some of the Italian shit I can really, really appreciate, like when it's like fish night.
Oh,
it's like some white tilapia, some trout, and then it's a nice salad on the side, and then there's
you like caprese?
Yeah. Or you ever what is it called? Capaci?
Capaci? No, it's that.
It's fucking or what is it called? Damn, some real Italian. It's like a little toast with tomato and like some little and then some raw.
Oh, I know
raw
exactly
fish.
What you're talking about.
Damn it,
bruschetta. Bruschetta is so
hella fucking good.
So good, bro. I love bruschetta. Oh my god.
But I'm more like anyone that really knows me, like I'm more of a seafood guy. Like,
really?
Especially since my surgery and shit.
Pretty healthy.
I'm like all like white meat. Like I'm more like white meat. Like, you know, they could argue like apes and shit like that. They're fucking pretty big, pretty strong. They don't eat no meat. So it's like, how do you get your proteins and shit? Sometimes I just eat my proteins from nuts and fucking other things. You know,
that shit's really good for you.
There's more protein than just meat. So I love me some ribs and some fucking soul food and some good ass fucking heavy ass food. Like once Thanksgiving, hell yeah. But really, I'm more of like a light Italian guy. I don't like too much heavy ass sauce. Yeah, it's like you eat a plate of pasta and you're just like,
oh you're done. Yeah, you're done for,
shit,
bro.
I'm fucking.
Your night is over. You're chilling for the rest of the night.
You know what I'm talking about? But I mean, would I rather be in any other culture though? At the same time,
I feel you.
It's great. It's a balance. But my dad was always telling me, self-regulate. So it's like yeah, they could dangle this ice cream in front of you. But are you going to eat it? They're always going to dangle.
It's like a practice in self-control.
It's just a hard thing to tell your grandma. Being like, Grandma.
Grandma.
Can you just...
I don't want the cannolis you just made. Get them out of my face.
Can you just take it easy a little bit?
Take it easy,
Grandma.
Can you just
take it easy a little bit? Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
I love you, Grandma. I love you.
But it feels like the thing is the grandmas probably never care, but I feel awful. You know what I mean? Like I feel like turning down your grandma's food is so it's so hard to do, bro. Yeah. Especially because I feel like I was just talking. Who was I talking to about this? I'm trying to remember. But literally like all Italian grandmas are like the same, bro. They're all small. Like Italian women, they all cook. Like they're like it's so funny. They're all like the same. It's definitely
in the culture. If you ain't eating a plate, it's kind of like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
like
they eat, bro. That's what they do.
It's like, get out of my kitchen if you're not gonna eat a plate of my food.
It's almost like a sign of disrespect.
It's like, damn. It's like even like some Japanese culture.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting.
It's
like, they do that.
If you don't finish everything on your plate, it's kind of like because some people they're seeing it's like there's less food, so there's like you should cherish every piece of this because there's less fortunate people out there. You know, some people that just eat grubs.
Yeah,
and like fucking people that live off the land. They have to kill everything they eat, and it's less portions. It's a lot less portions. So like Italians, like we're giving you all this portions, to be more grateful for it. But I mean, if you're an Arnold Schwarzenegger, you feel me?
Yeah.
All that's just going to your you feel me? Your frame.
Because you're so used to building muscle anyway.
But you gotta run.
Yeah.
Every day to eat that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta run. And you gotta like lift up some weight and shit like that, But if I'm not doing much that day, one meal. Just one.
I think of it as like a scale.
Just one.
Like I think of it as like put in the amount that you need. If you're doing more that day, go ahead eat a little bit more. But if you're not, there's not really any need to.
Yeah.
Is your kid like big on the Italian grub yet? Is he munching?
He loves it, bro. He's just like me, man. He's growing up with these great taste buds in his mouth. I mean, sometimes it's like not trying to like hate on fast food. I might get sponsorships. You never know.
Yeah.
Don't want to cut my business opportunities like that. But kids that eat fucking fast food all the time aren't developing how they're supposed to.
Yeah, of
like
course.
certain things, like all right. If you treat it like a treat, like you did something good, and I'll buy you some chicken nuggets.
How it should be, yeah.
But it's like if you're eating that all the time, it will fuck up your taste buds, and all of a sudden you can't taste real food anymore. Mm-hmm. So like my son and shit, we got him tasting real food. We got him tasting fucking all different kinds of cultures. He likes salads. He likes green shit. And even people tell me like that's really hard. Like your son just eats carrots, and I'm like, awesome. Well, it's like. Because he's just eating an apple because you gotta love those things. You gotta teach your kids to love fruits and vegetables. And my son it's been easy because he mostly just eats what I'm eating. So it's like if we're eating the same thing side by side. Then it's like we're gonna he follows my lead.
Your children are a complete product of you in like every way. I think of sometimes.
Not to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
I was kind of upset with my mom and my dad for letting me get chunky.
I totally, yeah.
For letting me to be a chunky fucking 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm. That's hard, bro.
Like,
you get
who likes being a chunky fucking 14-year-old? That's one of the hardest fucking...
It's super hard.
You need a napkin or something?
Oh, no, I'm chilling, bro.
But, like...
Just hella allergies.
And when I told my family, like, I'm trying to get in shape, it's like, I think back during those times, it's like, why is there always cold root beer in the fridge? Why is there always ice cream in the freezer? Or why is, like, when I go in the pantry, it's just a bunch of, like, Cheetos and shit like that.
And cereal.
You know?
Yeah.
And my family, my parents weren't really big on that. They were kind of like, let me do what I want. And that's a good thing, but it's not a great thing. It's not what I want my son to be like. I don't want my son to be, like, 13 and fucking can go eat a Rice Krispie treat and a fucking root beer. It's like, you're not allowed to have soda.
Yeah.
I don't give myself that shit.
It's crap.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the whole thing. Is I wouldn't give anything that I wouldn't drink. But obviously, Mom, if you're watching this, I still love you. Thank you. I love you. Okay? Don't be mad. But you shouldn't have let me get fat. I got made fun of. I had to work hard. I had to change my mental. But you know, it's always like cheaper things or things that's in your reach that people usually go for. You feel me? It's like the easily accessible. It's harder to be healthier. It costs more.
It's way harder. You have to cook. It costs more. It's and that's what's fucked up about it. It's like it should be easier to eat healthy. It should be cheaper. Dude, your kids, it's so crazy to me thinking about how much like your kids are a product of you. One thing I think of a lot is like the concept of racism. I know this sounds like it's very off topic, but I'm gonna relate it back. It's like no kid, or like just somebody having hate in their heart. You know, no kid is born with hate in their heart. That has to be taught. I really believe. I don't think people. I really don't feel like people are built, or people are born rather, with like a automatic negative outlook on life. I think that has to be taught. Like they get that from somewhere. You could you could put any kid in any situation, he will then become a product of that environment. That's why it bothers me so much when people look at like people who fall into like gangbanging or people who fall into bad circumstances, because 95% of the time they're a product of their environment. And I think it's so ignorant when people act like these people should just like rise above their environment. They're like, oh, just don't be like that. Totally go against your science. Totally go against everything that everybody else does. Dude, if your father is a certain way and your grandfather is a certain way, how can you expect to be different? It honestly makes me so angry when people act like you can just go against your environment, because it's so ignorant to ignore like the environment somebody's born within, because it totally writes off everybody else and their history. Think about the way that people are made. Every decision, every personality trait, every little quirk within you is a product of your parents, and there's no control over that, and we all share that. So it bothers me when people act like you should just be able to rise above your environment.
And that's why there's all the girls that got daddy issues.
Yeah.
And there's all the dudes that got mommy issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel me? Like, that reminds me of a quote that I read. It's, don't be mad at the dog for being a fucking dog. You know, don't be mad at the dog for being a bad dog. Be mad at the owner.
Yeah.
Feel me? You can't be mad that someone is the way they are because you don't know if they had their dad or if they had their mom or if they fucking had anybody. You know, like, I think about that a lot. And my son, you know, like my girlfriend, she's black. You feel me? She's from Oakland and shit. So it's like instantly he's growing up and thinking that, oh, interracial couples are regular. Like that. My dad got a black girlfriend, like, or he's gonna hear things that my girlfriend says or be around her people's, and he's not gonna think that's anything wrong. You feel me? That's also something that I can appreciate that my dad did, was he brought me around a lot of races.
That's awesome.
He brought me like he exposed me to a lot of different kinds of people. You know, all good people. You feel me? But I never grew up and I thought that like someone was African American. I'm thinking like they're gonna fucking steal my shit or fucking beat me up or some stupid ass shit. Like normally, you guys would fucking wouldn't believe it. Man, I'd be having problems with the Latinos more than anybody, and I'm partially Mexican. You feel me? I'm Sicilian, Nicoya, Mexican. So it's like you would think, but it's not always like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I love that part of the city where it's like it's a melting pot of culture.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? You see Filipinos, you see Polynesian, you see blacks, you see whites, and everyone coexists in different ways, and everyone got that same lingo because all the kids are going to the same schools. You feel me? But you gotta start that shit young. Like I understand, but if you don't let your kids be around other kids from other cultures, you're not giving those kids a real chance, man. You know, I mean,
I totally agree.
They would say like, oh well, you know, what about these are the only kids in the neighborhood, or these are the only kids that get along. It's like fuck that. Like just let go of it. Like if Jordan is friends with Tommy at school, let them be friends and talk to the parents. Like you might not be like them, but it doesn't matter.
But you guys can be friends too.
It doesn't matter if they fucking do the same shit you do, or if y'all don't do the same shit y'all do. It's about that mutual respect and just being like, okay, we might be different, but we could still coexist. You feel me? Like we could still prosper, and we could still win in our separate lanes, or we could cross our lanes and maybe I'll invite you to a barbecue or a baby shower.
Yeah.
And there's less people that's like that nowadays, and that's why I think we gotta do more, man. We gotta just not be so afraid of the unknown. You know, like they're thinking that people from other places are dirtier, or they're grimier, or they don't have the same feelings, or they're not thoughtful. It's just not true. Everyone is the same.
Well, what's interesting about that too is like obviously that's not true. Like I mean that should be a given, but even like the belief that that's true is fabricated on the idea that you just didn't grow up around them, so you don't understand them. If somebody was like, "Wow, all Italian people are dirty," that's because they didn't grow up around Italian people. If somebody's all like, "Oh, all black people act this way," that's because they didn't grow up around black people. Because obviously these things aren't true. Yeah. Like they're just literal falsities. So it's like I feel like the reason people think these things is because of a lack of experience with these people, and that's why I think things like interracial couples or things like mixed neighborhoods where you have white kids and black kids and Latino kids and Asian kids all coexisting, that there's a lot of beauty in that.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of fucked up. That came to my head, and I don't want to say this, but I almost gotta say this because that's what I'm about. I'm all about saying controversial things. It's almost that's what the system wants us to do. They want us to kill each other.
They want us to hate each other.
They want us to hate each other. And once you got that in your head, that it's all like being forced and pushed upon us, you know, we can rise up if we keep on being positive, if we keep on uplifting each other, if we know better. You know, sometimes that's why people go insane, because they know too much. They know that half the reason why they got all the different races in separate places because they wanna tax bracket this shit. They wanna create a hierarchy because only like 1% of the world is rich. You know, like a percent owns the world. But what do they want from us? And that's controversial because we could what we're doing is putting up a resistance, a rebellion, you could say. Yeah. But it's not negative. It's the rebellion to believe in the tree of life, and that means that it's a full circle, and you absolutely got to be ready to die for this shit because
100%.
You know, the universe is gonna throw curveballs. They're gonna make it seem like they're creating this drama to surround you, but it's all to test you. You know, like everyone is getting paid. Everyone got a job. Everyone is trying to like raise their kids and shit. You feel me? But if you show that there's a little bit more similarity, like there's not much difference between me and you, then people, I think, will be more understanding.
I also,
But there is some corrupt forces out there that are pushing this hate each other, don't like each other, separate. But you know what? you gotta rise above that. You gotta see through the lines and be like, that's not normal. Because normal is when we're kids, we're all drawing together. We're all sleeping together.
That's what normal is. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Normal isn't, like, the idea of, like, race is... The idea of hating somebody based on the amount of melanin in their skin is so fucking stupid. Like, it's so dumb. Like, I'm sorry. If you think you are superior to somebody based on the amount of melanin in their skin, you're a fucking idiot. Honestly. It's funny. I was talking to Edward and Chloe about this last night. We were talking about how, like, despite what the government does or what these societal forces in your life are, like, pushing on you, despite the agendas around you, whatever there may be, it's so important to just think at the end of the day that there are certain intangible things in your life that nobody can control but you. You know? Like, I can wake up in the middle of the night, or I can wake up every day, and there could be, like, let's say, I'm not saying this is true, but let's say the government, like, has it out for me. I can't control that. What I can control is that I wake up and I work on my business. I wake up and I work out. I wake up and I eat good food. I have fun. I spend time with my family. Lately I've been trying to pay less attention to the news, and call me uneducated, call me ignorant, whatever, but I'm more interested in what I can control and the positive impact that I can make. And I think the way I can do that is, like, helping to push music, you know?
Facts. Nah, I mean, like, there was a reason why they got the news, you know, shout out the news.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
But they're obviously promoting what they want you to consume.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden I see on my Instagram all the shit that they think I want to see. Feel me? Because they're not only monitoring, but they're giving you what they think you want.
Yeah.
You feel me? All of a sudden, I'm a rapper. I see a bunch of rappers and models on my shit. I'm like, who said that I'm only into rapping and modeling? What about the basketball shit? Yeah. What about the tats? What about the art? What about the building? What about the beauty? What about the National Geographic? You don't think I like shit like that? You better put that shit in my feed, because I do like shit like that. I want to see a eel being born and slithering into its new environment, because that's how I feel. I'm a fucking eel slithering into my new environment. We're all just a fucking force, and I'm spiritual, bro. You know, I got a strong spirit. I don't really believe that this vessel, like, some people believe in, like, reincarnation and shit like that. I'm not sure how many lives I've lived, but I believe that there's something deeper than this flesh. There gotta be.
I think
so
too. And
sometimes, you know, like, I think maybe the government will have it out for me one day for saying something that's too real. But at the end,
you're dead for a reason, though.
At the end of the day, they're gonna be talking about me.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, you know, they're either gonna erase me from history, or they're not gonna be able to do it because I'm too monumental. You know, but regardless, how can I hold back knowing that I could possibly change the world?
Yeah.
How can I hold back when I know I possibly could change someone's way of thinking? You know, but with that being said, I gotta be a better listener. I gotta be adaptive. I gotta have my way of thinking change all the time. So if I'm constantly pushing out this energy, I have to listen as much as I can, and that's usually to the people that I feel like are saying things that click. I'm not gonna listen to anybody just cause they think they're somebody. You know, I also believe that you're supposed to hear certain things at certain times, and if you pick up on these fine nuances and details in your life, you will see the signs of your path.
Yeah.
Your path was greater because one day you had a realization, and that dream turned into something reachable and something tangible. You know, the logistics of everything is, like, so boring because it seems hard, but what is being busy? Being busy ain't being hard. Being busy is just being busy.
Yeah, but being busy is beautiful. It means you have a reason to wake up in the morning. There's this have you ever seen the movie Whiplash?
I don't know about that one.
It's a movie about jazz drumming, but anyway, there's this quote in it, and it's one of my favorite quotes. It's like the I think I want to get this tatted on me at some point. There's this so the main character's name's Andrew Neiman. He's at a dinner table with, like, his entire family, and it's like his extended family and stuff, and his like grandparents and his cousins, his uncles are there, and his uncle asks, his dad's talking to his cousin, and his dad's talking about how his cousin, like, he's like in college and he's playing football, and he's like, wow, that's so awesome, like, I just heard about you on the radio, that's so cool. And then the conversation goes quiet, and he looks at Andrew, and this was the uncle, and the uncle was like, Andrew, so like, how's your jazz drumming going? And then he was all like, oh, it's going good, been working really hard. And the uncle asked him a question. He's all like, so, like, what do you think you can do with this? And then he's just kind of like, I just want to be the best. And then he's just kind of like, why? That doesn't really matter. Or he said something of the sort. And then the son, Andrew, he kind of looks at him, and he's like, yeah, and he was like, yeah, and your son's like, Division III college football tight end highlights do, said some shit like that, and then they got in this big argument. But the quote that I took from it was that Andrew Neiman said, I think they were talking about Miles Davis, I want to say, and they talked about how Miles Davis died young and drunk, and Andrew Neiman was like, I'd rather die broke, drunk, and at 40, and have people at a dinner table talk about me, than die happy, rich at 80, and have nobody remember who I was. And I think about that a lot, and that kind of what you were saying kind of reminded me of that. It's like, you have to have like a reason to wake up in the morning. You have to have like, being busy is beautiful. Being busy is a blessing. Some people don't get to be busy. Some people wake up every day and they haven't found what they love yet. I feel lucky that I'm busy. I will never complain about being busy. Like, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I want to tell you, man, I appreciate you, though. Appreciate you for all this. Because, I need you just as much as you're looking for artists. Like, I need you just as much as you need me.
Brother, I appreciate you, man.
Need you, bro. Need you.
Dude, same here. And you play an important part in everything. Like, thank you so much.
I mean, people like y'all, man, like you and Anna,
shout out. Sorry to cut you off, but real quick, if you're watching, shout out Anna. I've been seeing your stuff everywhere. You're fucking killing it. It's the Underground is her name, right?
Underground Show.
Yeah, Underground Show. I've seen like a bunch of my friends have like talking about your show, and like you're making a buzz in the Bay Area music scene. So I fuck with what you're doing. Keep doing it. You're doing great. Anyway, continue. What were you saying?
Yeah, but y'all, man, like it's crazy because when I talked to both of you guys said something that was slightly similar.
Yeah.
And you're like, thank you for the opportunity to sit with me. But I'm like, what? Thank me? Nah, man, thank you, bro. like y'all are so selfless that y'all don't even think in your guys' head that like you're giving me a gift. But you are giving me a gift. And I want to tell you to always remember that, people that are going to be grateful for you and your time, you feel me? And people that won't be, and you'll see the difference. I can see it, man. Like, y'all are like really, really selfless, really, really humble, really, really about what you guys say, pure intentions. And there's so many people that's on this rat race trying to get this cheddar. And, I think there is something more than just being 80 and being hella fucking old and rich. I'd like to be old. I've had arguments. I'd like to be old, but if I died young and it meant something to the fucking world, or it meant something to at least my people, and they did something from it, I lived a fulfilled life. What is a fulfilled life? Obviously I want to enable my people to do without me. Like, that's something my dad always said. He's like, man, I just want to raise you so there's the day that you don't need me anymore, because I will leave. And it's like, damn, for real? And then there's that unsettling feeling of like being lonely. But you know what? You won't be lonely for long as you give a piece to yourself to everyone you come across.
Hey, brother. And I think that's what you're doing, man. With your music, I love your stuff, bro. And I appreciate you sitting down, man. I think that's a beautiful note to end it on. And genuinely, man, like, I appreciate you coming on here. I know you said it to me, but I just want to give you your flowers, bro, because your stuff's great. I appreciate you. This might be one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. Like I love the direction this went and everything. I think you said a lot of amazing stuff, brother, and I appreciate you, Lucci.
Hey, man. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
Love you.
Tell them where they can stream your stuff, what you got coming up. I know you got a tape coming.
I'll be real locked in sometimes. But you know what? Check me out. All platforms. Line between living and dying. I go by the name of Lucky Lucci from the 415. But we're going international from all walks of life. From anywhere on this planet to the damn aliens listening to me right now. Go stream that thing. All platforms. Life of Lucci 2 coming this summer. We got the craziest fucking features. We got Afterthought. Fire. We got DK.
Fire.
We got Dina Rowe.
Hard.
We got Sammy Kodo. We got Malachi. We got...
Stop playing.
We got everybody. And we're taking over this year, man. And peace, love, and happiness. Never forget that. Peace, love, happiness.
All right, bro. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, brother. All right. Music matters.